Well, welcome back. We're wrapping up on National Public Works Week this week. And with us, we have two guests that couldn't be any more perfect for talking about National Public Works Week. We have Chris Phipps, who is the director for the county's Department of Public Works. And we have Erik Michelsen, who's the administrator for the Watershed Protection and Restoration Program. Gentlemen, welcome back to the show.
Thanks for having us.
This is your second, third time?
Yeah, something like
Veterans.
that.
They're veterans. They've been here.
They know what
times.
to do. Yeah. So, Chris, as director, you got to go on a director's tour around county facilities, anything that's public works related. Talk to us about your tour, what you saw, some of the highlights.
Sure. Yeah, I had the opportunity to get around, out to the staff, see some of the sites, get under the hood, if you will. In fact, I was at the
or into the bucket.
I was at the Davidsonville Road Yard, and I was doing some brake inspections with the staff because they were doing a skills test on new incoming equipment operators. And then I had the opportunity to tour the lab at the Millersville Utility Complex, where we conduct some 41,000 water samples a year to test and determine and demonstrate that our water is safe, and it is. And then I also had the opportunity to go into the bucket truck up to a traffic signal, and test out the traffic signal, clean the lenses on the lights, and had a good opportunity to see what it is that we do day in, day out that a lot of people don't get to see. So
I saw the picture on Facebook of you in the bucket. I love that picture. And let me just say, he always has fantastic hair, and the hard hat. It doesn't matter if he has the hard hat on or not.
Here we go. Here we go.
So, yeah. Well, we are one of the first counties that started rehabilitating our waterways, but the program really kicked off in 2015. Talk to us about some of the progress that you've had so far.
Well, so far, as you say, we started off about 2-3 years ago, pretty much sharpening the sword, if you will, getting the planning done. Now we're actually into the implementation, and we've been able to accomplish some 69 out of 130 stormwater pond retrofits. We've completed 8 of our stream and wetland restorations out of some 40. And we still have a number of storm drain outfall repairs that we have to do. But we're making really good progress. We're seeing that we've accomplished some 1,800 acres of impervious area treatment towards our goal of 5,900 acres, which is a rather rapid pace. So we're pretty excited about the pace that the progress we've made, and we do expect, as some of the longer term projects are permitted and the design is complete, which should be soon, we're going to start seeing this program really lift off. So in the next I'd say in the next year or so, we're going to see some real progress in our construction out in the field.
It's very exciting.
Yeah.
And Dave knows that I'm a sucker for a makeover show. So walk us through.
We're not putting any lipstick on Marley Creek.
That's not what I mean. It can be a home makeover show too, Dave. You don't know.
That's fair.
Well, walk us through the process, with the before and after, what it takes as far as what you're going in and doing right now.
So what we're trying to do really is figure out ways to treat stormwater that's coming off of the developed landscape, parking lots, driveways, rooftops, before it gets to our local waterways. So treating it in wetlands or getting it into the ground by infiltrating it into the ground. So we're working in areas where we can create either new features or go back into sites where there have been existing stormwater facilities and make those work more efficiently. So we've got a number of exciting projects in the works. We've done a lot of the sort of low-hanging fruit over the course of the past couple of years, but some of the big projects, as Chris says, are really going to start coming up in the next year or so.
Good segue.
Yeah.
So tell me about a couple of the big ones that are coming up in the near future that people should look out for.
We've got a couple of really big projects in the Annapolis area. We're going to be working at the Annapolis Harbor Center Pond. There's a facility there in the middle of the commercial development that has a fountain in it and that sort of thing. We're actually going to be expanding it to get additional water quality storage. One of the cool things about that is that we're working with the Terrapin Institute and South River Federation to remove some of the turtles that are already in the facility right now so that they don't get impacted when we do our construction, and then they'll be brought back after construction. So
go Terps.
Yeah, exactly.
Where do you take them?
They're going to other
house.
existing stormwater facilities where they can be sort of temporarily relocated, but they're being tagged and sampled.
We must name them.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. If you check out our Facebook page, you can see lots of pictures.
Oh, okay.
Oh, nice.
I should have known that.
The Facebook page.
I should have known that. Last summer, we made an announcement that we were looking for kind of innovative ideas from the private sector and the public on how we can use new technology and innovative ideas to accomplish the same goal at maybe a faster pace, maybe a lower cost. And now I understand we've had some developments with that. What's next on that front?
Right. So a little background on the cost of treating impervious area and reducing pollutants. It's extremely costly, and and I know I've mentioned before, and you're probably tired of hearing of it, but our pollutant loads are in three sectors. We call it the three-legged stool: wastewater plants, stormwater, and septic loads. And what we found, we've made a lot of progress on the wastewater plants. In fact, we're nearly complete with all the $250 million worth of investment to bring those plants up to what we call enhanced nutrient removal. And what we find is that that is a very cost-effective way of removing pollutants because there's so much that's coming through the waste stream. Stormwater is much more challenging because it's a non-point source pollution. It's harder to manage. It's more costly. It's coming from many different directions. Yeah. So we find it much more challenging and costly to treat. So we thought, well, let's see what the private sector can come back with, because we're not foolish enough to think that we have all the best ideas, and we wanted to test the market. So last year, Erik came up with this idea that we would request a $5 million project in our capital improvement program, which we called full performance delivery of stormwater projects or pollutant load reduction, and asked the private sector to respond.
I'm trying to figure out what the acronym is for that.
Don't
does it have an acronym? I bet it does.
To see what the private sector would come back, any ideas that they could come up with for $5 million that would get us the most pollutant load reduction for the money. And what has come back were some really creative, innovative ideas. And the one that we selected turns out it's a new technology that you can create sort of dynamic weirs on stormwater ponds, and it's all fed through telemetry, if you will. So we're tracking weather data. And
what's a weir?
Weir is a sluice gate on a pond, so we can raise the weir as stormwater is coming into the pond, so we can raise the water level in the pond. And as the storm's receding, we can lower the weir.
Like Amsterdam.
So we can control the output rate. And actually, it's more important that we're controlling how much water is staying in the pond to get the maximum amount of treatment through the process.
So when you have a big storm event, you lower it down so it can capture more water without overflowing.
Well, yeah, exactly. Yeah. And in lower storm events, we can raise the weir so that we're capturing more water and not letting it just kind of short circuit the pond and come in and go out without getting any treatment.
That's kind of wild.
We raise the weir so we capture it, attenuate the flow, and get more treatment. And it's found that actually the lower frequency storms are the more damaging because they occur more frequently.
Right.
Even though it's less volume, they're occurring more frequently. This way, we're capturing that volume and treating it, and then releasing it. So catch and release.
So they're going to put elevators under.
Well, no, they're sluice gates that'll be on the output side of the pond that we can raise and lower automatically. They'll have actuator valves that we can lower and raise the gear. Yeah. But anyway, the idea, what we're finding is that technology, by optimizing the capacity in that stormwater pond, the cost of the pollutant reduction is about 40% of what it would cost under normal conventional means.
And what would you have to do? Replace the stormwater pond?
Yeah, it's either we go in and do a lot of physical improvements to the pond. We put in baffles and weirs and different cells, and we reconfigure the pond structurally. This way, we're just kind of adjusting the output interface very simply. Even though it's mechanical, it's a very simple fix, and it's much more cost effective. Now, this isn't going to be applicable in every circumstance. At some point, there's only going to be so many of these applications we can do, but we're looking for whatever ideas out there we can come up with, and this was one that the private sector came back and we're going to pursue. And then the good thing is we're pending the capital budget is approved by the county council this year, the FY18 budget.
Hint, hint.
We've got another $5 million project coming up next year as well.
That's exciting.
And that will address something other than stormwater ponds. It will be like,
Well, it's up to the market.
Yeah, right.
Whatever the private sector says they can do, whatever pound load production or reduction I can get at the lowest cost that's feasible, that MDE, the Maryland Department of Environment, will recognize as a practice that will credit towards our reduction goals. We're all in. We'll take it.
It's very exciting. Very
neat.
cool
That's
technology.
pretty neat.
Eric, I'm guessing the answer is Facebook, but if folks want to stay tuned to your progress, catch up on completed projects, where would you go?
Facebook is the best place to keep up to date with what we're up to, but our website, which is aarivers.org, has a map of all the projects that have been completed and all the projects that are in process, as well as a lot of details about the program, about how you can take steps at your own home to improve water quality and those kinds of things. So check out the website, check out Facebook. We're also on Twitter.
Jeez,
and
got it all.
if I know that you can't pick a favorite child, but what's your favorite project that we've already finished that you think is worth checking out? I know I've seen some of them.
So our North Cypress Branch project, which is over by the Coles in Severna Park, won an award for Best Stream Restoration Project in the Chesapeake Bay this past year. So that's pretty exciting
Is that
for us.
over by B&A? Or not that far down?
Along McKinsey
Okay.
and Route 2, essentially.
Okay, I'll have to check that out.
Fantastic.
Awesome.
Well, thank you guys for all the hard work that you continuously do for the county and our residents. And we appreciate you coming on the show. And happy National Public Works Week. And we hope to have you back soon anytime you want to come back with news and updates for us.
Thank you.
We'll be right back with more Week in Review right after this. Don't go anywhere.